Saint Paisius Velichkovsky, 1722–1794, was one of the great spiritual renewers of Eastern Orthodox monasticism, a man whose quiet devotion reshaped the religious life of entire nations. Born Petro Velichkovsky in Poltava, in what is now Ukraine, he grew up in a pious family and showed an early love for prayer, sacred learning, and the ascetic life. Dissatisfied with merely formal religion, he longed for the living spiritual wisdom of the early church fathers. This hunger led him away from ordinary comforts and into the demanding world of monastic struggle. While still young, he traveled widely in search of authentic spiritual guidance, eventually finding his way to Mount Athos, the great monastic center of the Orthodox world. There, amid hardship, poverty, and intense inner labor, he immersed himself in the study of patristic writings and the practice of the Jesus prayer, becoming convinced that the neglected treasures of hesychasm, the tradition of inner stillness and ceaseless prayer, needed to be revived for the healing of souls. What made Paisius remarkable was not only his personal holiness, but his role as a bridge between ancient spiritual wisdom and the Orthodox peoples of Eastern Europe. On Mount Athos, he gathered around him a community of disciples, drawn by his humility, wisdom, and deep knowledge of the Fathers. Realizing that many foundational Greek ascetic texts were inaccessible to Slavic monks, he dedicated himself to translating and collecting these works, making them available in Church Slavonic, and helping restore a forgotten spiritual inheritance. Later, forced by changing political and social pressures to leave Athos, he settled first in Moldavia, where his monastic communities at Dragomirna, Secu, and finally Neamț Monastery flourished. Under his leadership, these monasteries became vibrant centers of prayer, scholarship, translation, and spiritual direction. Hundreds of monks lived under his guidance, and his influence spread far beyond monastery walls, reaching Russia, Romania, Ukraine, and other Orthodox lands. Through his efforts, the teachings of the Desert Fathers and the practice of inward prayer were not simply preserved but made alive again for a new age. Saint Paisius's legacy is immense because he helped ignite a spiritual revival whose effects endured long after his death. He is especially remembered for his connection to the Philocalic tradition, the body of ascetical and mystical writings that nourished countless Orthodox Christians in their search for purification, illumination, and union with God. His translations, letters, and monastic rule inspired generations of elders, monks, and lay believers, contributing directly to the flowering of spiritual life, later seen in places such as Optina Monastery in Russia. Yet the power of his biography lies not only in historical achievements, but in the witness of a soul consumed by the love of God. Paisius lived in an age of confusion and decline, but answered it not with ambition or controversy, but with repentance, prayer, humility, and fidelity to holy tradition. In him, the ancient fire of the Christian East burned anew, and through him countless others learned that true renewal begins in the silence of the heart, where the human person meets the living God.